between Narcissus and Nirvana on the cultural evaluation of self-love. A person gets up in the morning, looks in the mirror, and says, "I am enough." In one part of the world, this might be seen as a courageous act of self-acceptance. In another, as presumptuous self-centeredness. The idea of self-love, turning toward oneself, accepting oneself, embracing oneself, is widespread, yet understood in vastly different ways across the globe. What does it mean to love oneself? And why do some cultures view this attitude with approval, while others approach it with caution? In the West, especially in North America and parts of Europe, self-love has become something of a guiding principle of modern life. In self-help books, podcasts, and on postcards, you'll find you have to love yourself before anyone else can love you. The thought is comforting. It implies self-respect, inner healing, emotional independence, but it also carries a subtle imperative. Love yourself. Otherwise, you're not whole. Things are different in many Asian, African, or Arab cultures. There, a statement like, "I love myself," often sounds strange or inappropriate. Humility, modesty, and the well-being of the group are valued more highly than individual affirmation. To put oneself at the center is to risk disturbing the delicate fabric of social harmony. Love of self is not denied, but it expresses itself more quietly, embedded in relationships, not as a solo performance, but as part of a whole. Language also reveals much. In some tongues, there is no direct word for self-love. Instead, we find concepts like inner peace, balance, or humbleness, attitudes that don't center on the self, but rather on the relationship to the world, family, God, or nature. Where the I is not imagined as an island, but as a riverbed in the stream of community, self-love is not the goal, but the byproduct of a mindful life. And yet, the notion of self-love is marked by tension everywhere. Where does healthy self-respect end, and where does self-absorption begin? Is self-love the first step to healing or to isolation? Between narcissists and self-deniers, there is a wide space. And in that space, cultures dance in their own ways. In Buddhism, for instance, the dissolution of the ego is a central aim. But this does not lead to self-contempt. It leads to compassion, including compassion for the self. Self-love as quiet, mindful attention to one's own suffering, without drama, without pride. In Christianity, the idea appears in the phrase, "Love your neighbor as yourself." Here, self-love is not excluded, but becomes a precondition for loving others. Perhaps that's the key. Across cultures, self-love is never purely private, but always embedded in a larger framework of worldviews, beliefs, and understandings of community. It is not better or worse, depending on the place, but framed differently, balanced differently. And so, once again, someone stands in front of the mirror in the morning, whether in Seoul, Cape Town, or Salzburg. Depending on where they come from, their words might sound different. Maybe they say, "I am part of something greater." Maybe, "I am loved." Maybe, "I am allowed to exist." Or maybe nothing at all. And yet, all of that too might be self-love.